What if Cleopatra had formed a lasting alliance with Rome? Picture, if you will, a desert sunset along the timeless Nile, where shadows of ancient gods stretch across the sands. In this strange reflection of the past, Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, does not merely flirt with Roman might, she seizes it. Tonight, on What If History, we peer into a world where Cleopatra and Rome are bound by a pact as unbreakable as bronze, changing the course of civilization through intrigue, ambition, and the march of war. I'm your host, Colin Holmes. Buckle in for a journey that might feel like myth, but for one twist in history, it might have been reality. The pact sealed in gold. Let us begin with Cleopatra's defining moment. A pact with Julius Caesar, or perhaps Mark Antony, whichever she finds most suitable for her grand design. Unlike the fragile alliances of our recorded past, this union is sealed in gold and seasoned with deep cunning. Cleopatra offers Rome a treasury overflowing with Egyptian wealth, grain, spices, precious metals, enough to power the armies of a growing empire. In return, she demands more than a mere alliance. She wants a seat at the apex of Roman power. Rome, as always, hungers for expansion. But even the greatest legion needs coin to forge steel and pay soldiers. Egypt becomes that lifeblood, turning Cleopatra from a queen reliant on Roman indulgence into an indispensable partner. Let the senators sneer if they wish. Cleopatra is far from a delicate ornament. She is the crucible of Rome's new golden age, or the force that will set it ablaze. War on the horizon. No empire cements its power without conquest, and Cleopatra knows that well. Under her influence, the Roman legions prepare to extend their reach beyond the usual frontiers. The Senate debates the next target. Parthia to the east, rich with trade routes and defiant archers, or the untamed lands of Africa, harboring secrets and kingdoms ripe for annexation. Whispers echo through the marble halls. Cleopatra counsels strategy behind closed doors, her voice weaving through shadows like silk. At her urging, Rome directs its legions toward Parthia, a kingdom rumored to hold enough treasure to rival even the Nile's bounty. The Roman generals, fueled by Egyptian gold, recruit additional infantry and cavalry. Cleopatra quietly dispatches her own Egyptian regiments, loyal to her alone and schooled in desert warfare. By the time the legions march, a portion of their force answers not just to Caesar, but to the Queen of the Nile. An alliance of convenience? Not quite. Cleopatra seeks to shape the war's outcome in her favor. Every victory on foreign soil accrues to her personal legend, and every captured city becomes another foothold for an empire now half Egyptian, half Roman. The theater of political intrigue. Back in Rome, power games rival any gladiatorial spectacle. Senators grow uneasy as Cleopatra's influence seeps into their tradition-bound world. They question the appropriations of Egyptian customs. Eyeliner on statues, sphinxes at city gates, even talk of building a scaled-down pyramid near the Tiber. More concerning is the Queen's hold on the purse strings. Rome's grand campaigns hinge on a steady flow of Egyptian gold, and Cleopatra alone controls the spigot. In hushed corridors, ambitious nobles hatch conspiracies. Some attempt to discredit the Queen by labeling her a foreign interloper corrupting Roman values. Others flirt with outright revolt. Cleopatra counters every maneuver, forging alliances with senators who crave her wealth and power. Quietly, she sows discord among her enemies, pitting them against each other, letting their jealousies and pride tear them apart from within. Even Caesar, or Antony, depending on whom Cleopatra deems more pliable, finds himself caught between devotion to Rome and fascination with this mesmerizing monarch. Late-night whispers swirl of Cleopatra toying with Caesar's affections, of her hand selecting which senators rise or fall in the eyes of the state. To some, she's a sorceress with potions and poisons. To others, she's the empire's savior, safeguarding Rome from financial ruin. The Eastern Campaign. While Rome's internal politics seethe, the war in the east surges forward. Egyptian-financed legions sweep through Parthian territory, capturing frontier forts with ruthless efficiency. Cleopatra's involvement is more than symbolic. She directs key military advisors, funds new siege engines modeled on Egyptian designs, and ensures supply lines run smoothly across scorching deserts. In her name, the combined armies seize trade routes that bring caravans brimming with gems, silks, and exotic spices into the imperial fold. Yet the Parthians are no easy foe. Their cavalry archers mount swift counterattacks. Ambushes cost Rome dearly, and Roman soldiers whisper that Cleopatra's gold cannot buy victory if the legions are surrounded by desert tribes that know the sand better than any map. But Cleopatra is not deterred. Her Egyptian forces, versed in desert warfare, outflank the Parthian cavalry with cunning maneuvers. When Parthia finally crumbles, Cleopatra cements her reputation not as a mere ally, but as a strategist whose name inspires both awe and terror. Twilight in the desert. Flush with eastern spoils, the empire grows ever more dependent on Cleopatra. Her hunger for dominance does not end with Parthia. She envisions a realm that extends along the Red Sea coast, controlling trade lanes all the way to India. In this new era, the Mediterranean is no longer just Rome's domain. It is a vast stage for Egyptian flair and Roman discipline. Soldiers march under eagles inlaid with hieroglyphics, as if two deities, Mars and Isis, stride side by side in war. But as victories pile up, so do the enemies. Local satraps resent Egyptian meddling, while Roman veterans chafe at Cleopatra's growing shadow. Whispers drift of insurrection among legions posted too long under the desert sun. Cleopatra's solution is as clinical as it is brutal. Suspected mutineers vanish in the night, their loyalty replaced by fresh recruits from Egypt. Senators who dare question her methods often find themselves either poisoned at a lavish banquet or publicly disgraced in a trial orchestrated by her allies. The legacy of ambition. Such ruthless governance does not go unnoticed. Even Caesar, or Antony, grows uneasy, wondering if Cleopatra's thirst for supremacy outstrips her devotion to Rome, or to him. Yet it is too late to break the bond. Egypt's gold props up the empire. Cleopatra's cunning guides its armies. Rome's future is entwined with her fortunes. Meanwhile, Cleopatra secures her line of succession. If she has children by Caesar, she ensures they are recognized as Roman royalty, taught to navigate Senate politics as easily as they might recite the riddles of the Sphinx. She commissions palaces that fuse Roman marble columns with Egyptian murals depicting her conquests, testaments to a legacy that might stretch as far as the Indus. In this glittering tapestry of power, Cleopatra rises as an equal to Rome itself, a living goddess enthroned beside a mortal consort. Her empire spans 3 continents, her name etched into the hearts of conquered peoples. Yet for all her triumphs, the seeds of fracture stir beneath the gilded surface. An empire too vast often carries the weight of its own undoing. Rebellion stirs in outlying provinces. Ambitious generals test Cleopatra's authority. A single spark could ignite the entire structure. An empire built on gold, guile, and unrelenting ambition. Epilogue, Reflections on Power. Here, dear listener, ends our journey through the looking glass. An empire born of Cleopatra's dream and fueled by Rome's appetite for glory. Could such a colossus have endured the internal strife and external pressures that doomed so many grand civilizations? Perhaps in this shimmering alternate timeline, Cleopatra's iron will might have staved off decline for generations, forging a legacy where desert and marble, pharaoh and emperor, reigned in uneasy tandem. But in our reality, Cleopatra's story ended in tragedy, and Rome marched on without her. Tonight, on What If History, we have glimpsed a different fate. One shaped by a queen unafraid to wage war, weave intrigue, and reshape destiny. Whether such a future stands as a magnificent dream or a cautionary tale is yours to decide. I'm Colin Holmes, inviting you to ponder the infinite corridors of possibility. Until next time, remember, history is more than a dusty record of what was. It's a boundless stage for what might have been. May your imagination take the throne, and may you reign supreme in your own kingdom of ideas. Kingdom of ideas.